Citizen TV, kwani siku hizi mnalazimisha watu kukuja kwa interview zenyu? Because interview ya jana between Yvonne Okwara na CS wa Energy Opiyo Wandayi, most of the interview was very boring because Opiyo Wandayi couldn't even answer simple questions on matters energy. Yeye anajua vitu mingi on his docket na yeye ndo CS na tuna believe kwamba yeye ni expert. And then most of the time anasema he wasn't prepared. He will contact or he will be told by the what expertise wake. Akiulizwa swali anasema kwamba expertise wake ndo watajibu. He don't have the actual answers. That was a very shameful interview. Hata ila haikuwa interview because that guy only wanted to talk about ODM politics, lakini kwa ministry yake ataki.
Hey. Good morning, Kenyans. Now, Kenyans, good morning from wherever you are. Hey, I just want to laugh again. I have a busy day today, but I just had to talk about Opiyo Wandayi. Wandayi, what was that? Wololo maye. Na matinyu. Na manisha ni magumu. Ni magumu haya. Hawa ndio experts mlikuwa mnasema tumedonate. Yay! Kenyans, what was that Opiyo Wandayi pulled yesterday at Yvonne Okwara's? Yani I've just been watching snippets. Na Mungu wangu, hizo nini? Hawa ndio experts mnasema wako kwa broad base. My lord. What type of oil is in Turkana? Mheshimiwa ajui. Mheshimiwa na fumble tu. Mheshimiwa anaongelea goalpost huko anarusha tu ma questions na ma answers huko goalpost after goalpost. Yo. Kenyans, what was that Opiyo Wandayi pulled yesterday at Yvonne Okwara's interview? Jesus! The so-called experts. Wow. Hey. Nitarudi niichambue vizuri. Wandayi must go. Wandayi? They are very competent Kenyans who can replace you from that docket. Apana tumekata. Kenyans, just go and watch that cause that was below the belt. Goodbye.
How can a whole cabinet secretary in charge of energy and petroleum not know what type of crude oil we're producing in Kenya? How? Buona CS, Opiyo Wandayi, how is it possible that you do not know what type of crude oil we're producing in Kenya? Because it puts a lot of question into your credibility as a CS. Because here I'm just wondering, what type of conversations do you have out there in your ministry, in your day-to-day operations? Ukiongeanga na my investors, ukiongea na your colleagues, ukienda international conferences, whenever you surround people who are just discussing about oil, mkipiga ma deal, yet you do not know some of these basic things. It doesn't make sense. And you could not be an oil expert, but the fact that you are the CS, kuna vitu unafaa kujua tu, yani they should be in the fingertips. They should be here. Unajua tu unajibu. Hata ukuuliza story ya budgeting ya nini, what type of crude oil we are producing in Kenya? Very simple question. You could not answer that question. And the more you spoke in that interview, by then nikajiambia, do you know what? Yvonne Okwara, first of all, is not even pressing enough. And he's just talking about a lot of broad-based nonsense over here. And I'm like, you know what? Remember, cabinet secretaries, first of all, hawafai kuwa wana engage in this political nonsense. Unaona kina Mbadi, Opiyo Wandayi wanafanywa kwa kina Joho. They should not. Actually, it's illegal for them to be doing all these things. As a CS, unakanga pusiasa kando. Lakini, unaona tu because wako part of this broad-based nonsense, they are doing whatever they want. Bwana, just pretend you know something about this ministry, Bwana CS.
Energy sector has a lot of money, and let me tell you something that is a pity that Opiyo Wandayi, who is a CS, have no idea of what happens there. He knows if he has an idea, then he is part of those people.
But I think sometimes that is why they give you a job like that. if we say he's clueless,
Yes.
then arguably if he was clueful,
Yes.
then he'd be a problem.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So you put somebody there who doesn't ask too many questions because he doesn't really want to comprehend too many things. And even then he doesn't really care very much about it.
Let me even mention something that I don't know. Buvi, who would you expect to be the CS?
Yes.
The PS for energy? What would be the qualification?
The CS for energy?
PS for energy.
Principal Secretary?
Yes, Principal Secretary. What would be the minimum qualification you would think?
To be honest, this is just me. If I was to appoint one,
Yes.
I'll probably appoint someone who understands electricity. Probably he's an electrical engineer,
Yes.
has worked in the energy sector, so he understands the inner workings of that. And of course, someone who's been in government long enough to understand. He's been working in that industry within government
Yes.
to understand the inner workings, basically, of the industry. That is how I would appoint them.
Then you would be doing very badly.
Okay.
Because in Kenya,
Yes.
our PS is a nurse.
For
energy.
For energy.
Yes.
So I would be doing very badly because I have not appointed.
Because you wouldn't go with what Kenyans want. So
Yeah.
Alex Wachira is a nurse.
Okay.
He's a PS for energy.
All right.
Then the CS is Opiyo Wandayi. Look at his qualification. Then you tell me who runs the energy sector. It has to be the people in Kenya Power and Ketraco. Who are those?
Gen.
And Kengen. Who are those people? Who are the MDs of Ketraco? Who is the MD of Kenya Power?
Yes.
Who is the Director General of EPRA? Who is the MD of Kengen? If you will get anybody else other than from Rift Valley, you would not be, you don't have any idea. So those are the people running the energy sector. And then the people who have been put on top of them have no idea of what happened.
It seems everybody is already campaigning for 2027, including cabinet secretaries like yourself. Correct?
I'm not sure if that amounts to campaign, really.
Okay. So
Because,
calling for the re-election of President William Ruto, that's not campaigning?
you know, I have said campaigns are clearly provided for under the law.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But have you been campaigning for President William Ruto?
You may choose to call it campaign, but the fact is that I've been explaining to Kenyans what the government of President Ruto is doing for them.
Okay.
And continues
asking them
do
to
for
re-elect
them,
him.
and that if they feel satisfied and the time comes for election, they vote for him again. There's nothing really
So let's call it
out of the
campaigning,
ordinary.
so that we don't split hairs.
Now, Kenyans. Wandayi, I'm still on Wandayi. Yani bado, I still have I'm still surprised. Shocker of the year. Wandayi unable to answer questions, simple questions concerning his docket. You know, I went back and watched that video, that interview. Just trying to, he cannot even keep eye contact. Kwa sababu hajui answers. Hajui, mheshimiwa is so clueless. Why am I even addressing him as mheshimiwa? Where? Let me tell you, Kenyans. I watched that interview. I went and watched it again. And for a moment, I actually thought it was Gaucho and Omoshwana being interviewed. Hala! Where? Mkoshoa wanahitaji power kweli? Mkoshoa wanahitaji power ama turudi kwa basics kwanza? Turudi kwa basics kwanza ndio wao waanze kuitisha power. Nao ndio wanataka kutoa deputy president. Ni mbaya. Opiyo Wandayi alikuwa nadhani Yvonne Okwara anaenda kumuuliza mambo za ODM. Where Baba left us? Where did Baba leave ODM? Because that is the only thing Opiyo Wandayi can shout at the topest of his voice. Baba left us! Baba left us! Baba left us! Baba left us! That is the only thing Opiyo can shout at the top of his voice. That is the only thing Wandayi knows. At this point, after that interview, I think the only thing Wandayi knows is to tell us where Baba left them. Baba left us in Broadbest! We shall remain in Broadbest! I just remember that video where he was, that video interview he was in just after Baba died. Baba left us! Baba left us! Yeye na ule pastor wa treasury huko. Hey! Opiyo, say cheza na Okwara. Okwara will expose you. Uonekana kama mshenzi wa washenzi Kenya. Kenyans, broad-based experts. We have donated our experts. Experts ndio hawa. Who is the next expert to be exposed? Tushajua Pastor Yohana. Tumeshajua clueless Wandayi. Who's next? Baba left us. Goodbye, Kenyan.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, jua life zibe nice.
Kono moja mbele, gine yenderembe. Pile up, yoni